They thought I was buried somewhere in the jungle. Turns out, I was just learning how to roar. For 10 years, my name wasn't uttered at a single family event, not on birthdays. Not even when my father died. It was like I'd been scrubbed out of the family tree erased. They said I went wild. That I ran off to the Amazon with a camera and no compass. But I wasn't lost. I was surviving. I was becoming. Then, a letter arrived. A wedding invitation. No, we miss you. No, please come. Just 5 bold words stamped like a warning. Do not cause a scene. As if I was the embarrassment. As if they hadn't humiliated me first. But that wasn't the worst part. The wedding wasn't for my cousin. It wasn't for some distant relative. It was for my ex-fiancé. Marrying my sister. Yeah, let that settle in your chest for a second. I hadn't spoken to them since the night I caught him cheating with her. And instead of standing beside me, my family called me dramatic. Me unstable. Too emotional for this world. So I packed my silence and disappeared. And they let me. For a decade, I slept in mud huts. Photographed tribes that didn't exist on Google. Sold a single shot to National Geographic for $50,000. I built a name in silence while they buried mine in shame. Now, suddenly, they wanted me back. Not for forgiveness. Not for family. For optics. To tame the wild sister for the photo album. To show how close we all were. So I said yes. Not for them. But because some silences need to be broken. The venue was a vineyard, pristine, white, sterile. Just like their lies. When I walked in, the air froze. I wasn't in heels. I was barefoot in a crimson sari, tribal beads draped across my chest, camera swinging at my side like a weapon. I didn't look like a guest. I looked like a storm. My mother didn't speak. Just blinked twice and handed me a C card. I love photographer. Do not interact like I was Steph. At my sister's wedding. Then came the speeches. Dad raised a glass to true love. Mom praised loyalty. And then she stepped forward. My sister. Perfectly curled. Dressed in white. Heart like ice. I guess we all grow up eventually, she said, as locked on mine. Some of us after a spiritual breakdown in Peru, the crowd laughed. He laughed. Arm round her waist. That's when I stood. Not to fight. Not to cry. But to speak. To exist. I walked calmly to the mic. And said only this. Some of us ran away to find peace. Others stayed behind and perfected their masks. But the wild one. She became a wildfire, the silence that followed. Thicker than the wine in their flutes. No one blinked. No one breathed. Until my grandmother, the one who hadn't spoken to me in 10 years, stood up. And clapped. Just once. Then again. Then others followed. Except the bride. Her smile cracked. Her fingers trembled. She leaned into him and whispered, "Why is she here?" And for the first time, he had no answer. Because he was staring at me. Like a man remembering the fire he couldn't hold. The one that got away. That night, I didn't stay for cake. I didn't stay for closure. I walked out barefoot, camera swinging, peace intact. I never had a seat at their table, but I walked away with something far better, a life they could never control, and that was worth every second of the silence. Have you ever walked back into a room where they thought you'd stay broken, but you returned stronger?